Hey amigos, this is Comedy Ship's side gig with me, Ignacio Lopez. This week I am talking to Leroy Brito, one of my best friends, was for a little while practically a neighbor, helped this guy move into his house. But we had a great chat about all of the terrible gigs he's done. Some of them I was there for, so we relate to that very heavily, and where he's going with his comedy career. Enjoy. Leroy Brito, we are good friends, so this is going to feel weird interviewing you.
Yes, it is.
Because I know the answer to all the questions.
Yes, you do.
But who are you? Who the fuck are you?
Who am I?
And what do you do?
I am at the core a stand-up comedian, but I do other shit as well.
Okay.
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, recently you've gone full in on stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Because you've been made
I
redundant.
was made redundant from my day job, and I was balancing it quite well.
Yes.
Yes.
To be honest, you're one of the most, what I would say, functioning comedians I know.
Yes. Yeah.
In that,
wife and kids.
You've got a wife and kids. You managed to fit stand-up in with a job and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But now you're untethered a little bit because the job has gone.
Yes, it was a bit weird at the start because I had too much time on my hands.
Yeah.
Because I was so disciplined in terms of I found the balance now.
Yeah. Well, if you had to describe to a 5-year-old, and this should be easy for you.
Oh, it's difficult.
Because you've had a million 5-year-olds.
Yes, yeah.
I should specify Leroy's got a handful of children. Okay,
not 4 kids.
Yeah.
I'm not a sperm donor. Well, I am a sperm donor, but yeah.
But you've had to stick around with them afterwards as well. How would you describe your job as a stand-up comedian or whatever to a 5-year-old?
Well, I do describe it to my 4-year-old.
Okay.
So I'd say, Daddy tells jokes on stage, and she asks, have you got a gig? And then the other day, I'm in the kitchen.
She calls them gigs?
She calls them gigs.
That's
now.
adorable.
She's part of the crew. So I'm in the kitchen the other day, and I can hear some of my special playing. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good joke. Then I realised, no, she's playing it. So she's on iPlayer, I'm about to turn her off. And I said, you can't watch that because Daddy says some naughty words.
Yeah.
And now she thinks I'm just like some smut comics. She comes up to me and says, Daddy, tell me a joke, but you can't tell jokes without swearing, can you?
She said that?
Yeah, she said, go on, tell me a joke. I'm like,
hypercritical.
I haven't got anything like I can use for the 4-year-old.
For a kid's joke.
Yeah.
You're going to have to write a kid's set,
Well, I just stole one from the back of like a yogurt.
Do they have jokes on yogurt? Like the old penguin wrapper kind of thing?
Yeah,
all right, that's cool. What kind of yogurt was it?
It was a froob.
A froob?
Yeah, frozen froob. So describe to I tell jokes on stage, and then I also make stuff as well. So I've got a podcast. We made a special together.
Yes.
It's not just my special. You made it. Gavin made it with me as well.
I think it was Leroy's show, but Gavin and I made it special.
You did. You did. 100%. 100%. You took the stress away from me.
No, it's fun, man. To be honest, it's really exciting, like stepping outside of my comfort zone a little bit and directing it and like chatting through everything, and just collaborating on that experience.
Yeah.
And not to sound like all artsy and like wanky about it and stuff, but it elevated both of our work by doing that.
100%.
And it was fun.
We stepped out of our comfort zone. Yeah. And we made something which we're proud of.
Yeah. And it looks shit hot on the BBC as well. If you haven't seen it yet, this isn't going to be Leroy's plug later. Go watch Leroy's special on BBC iPlayer.
Yeah. Live in Cardiff.
Live in Cardiff. Yeah. Not the most imaginative of names.
No, it's because I live in Cardiff.
Yeah, it's actually Live in Cardiff. It's not Live in Cardiff. The title is Live. Leroy Brito, Live in Cardiff. We were discussing titles for a long time.
Yes, we did.
The BBC wanted it to be more like so that people knew exactly what they were going to watch. What were some of the titles we were playing with?
Purple Patch was one. I felt like I was hitting a purple patch, but not many people understood what it meant.
Yes.
So just in terms of sport, like a striker hitting a purple patch. Yeah. Scoring loads of goals. So I felt like I was just hitting my groove. Yeah. So that was one.
I wanted you to call it. My Neighbors Call Me Bradley.
Yes.
Because he's got a great joke in the special. Go watch it, no spoilers. But that if you watch the special and think, that would have made a good title for the special. I think so
as well. Yeah.
It was funny, man. It was good stuff. You're a stand-up comedian. What were you made redundant from? What were you doing before?
I was doing recruitment for the tech company. Okay. So I was really good at recruitment. That's one of the reasons why I stayed in my job, because I enjoyed it. Yeah. And I was earning good money from it. Yeah. And I bootbud as well, which has helped me with my knees and my ankle and all that type of stuff. So I was a recruiter by day and then stand-up by night. So sit-down recruiter, stand-up comedian.
Leroy hasn't hurt his knees and ankles through doing stand-up comedy.
No.
He also runs as well. He runs from all of the mothers of his children.
And the child support agency. Yeah. No, this is just charity gig.
You, I mean, healthcare in the UK. That's definitely got to help, right? Because
it did help.
Yeah. Are you off it now?
I'm off it now. Yes, I'm on Chat GTP at the moment.
Dr. GBT.
Yeah.
Dr. GBT. So you're doing recruitment, but I mean, you've done loads of jobs. We chatted about this before.
Yeah.
You DJ'd a little bit.
I was a DJ back in the day. Yes, yeah.
What was the favorite gig you ever DJ'd?
Favorite gig I ever DJ'd would have been, I used to do the student union in Swansea Uni, so I had the other room, which was like the urban room,
right?
So I could play wherever I wanted.
Nice.
And that was jumping. Granted, I was 25; they were 18. But I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can't. I don't think. You need that extra experience as well to be able to play to 18-year-olds.
And for stand-up, you need.
That's what I was gonna say, because we've done our share of student gigs as well in Swansea and a few other places, Cardiff, etc. And it's weird, especially those freshers gigs, because they're not just meeting each other for the first time. It could be the first week they've arrived at the university, and they don't know each other. They don't know what it's safe to laugh at, so that people think they're weird. Yeah. We're trying not to do kinky material.
Exactly, and these are still, this is their first week of almost being an adult.
Yes.
So a lot of these kids, even when I was in university, a lot of the kids would, their mum would open their mail for them, so all their finances, so they weren't, in that zone. So this is their first time out.
Yeah, I thought you meant like a kind of butler would open it and hand it to them or something, like, Mum!
On a pillow, yes.
Your mail this morning, darling. With those student gigs stuff, you went to university in Swansea.
Yes, I did.
What did you study?
International relations.
International relations.
Yes.
That's how we get on so well.
Exactly.
This is an international relation. You were studying politics. Were you expecting to take that into something professionally?
I was always ambitious. I always thought I'd make a good politician.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have the compromise in me, or as you know me, I couldn't knock on people's door. Acting like I care. I just couldn't. I just didn't have the bandwidth.
It's taken so long for Leroy to be able to feign caring about the audience.
Yeah. That's one of the skills I had to work on. It's not about you guys.
This is for me. Okay, I've got a day job and a family. What drew you to stand up, first of all? How did you end up doing stand up?
Man, so I've probably told you this, but just as a kid, watching Eddie Murphy, listening to Richard Pryor on records with my cousin, seeing, just snippets of George Carlin, loved it, and there was just something over there. And then you watch Seinfeld, and you see him, at the start of Seinfeld with the brick background, doing little bits, and that is the coolest thing. That is just the cool. In New York, just.
Well, you got to do stand up in New York.
Yeah,
you've been out a couple of times now.
Yeah, I've been out a couple of closing shows out in New York, so that was one of the dreams of a future gig of a kid. But then life gets in the way, having kids, going to uni, just gets in the way. And then at 29, I went through a little bit of a funk.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a depression, just like a funk, just like life's ups and downs. And I went to Singapore for like 3 weeks to see my uncle, lived out their life. And I was coming back to the UK to do stand-up, try it. And I wrote a list, like, to stay in the UK or to move to Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could have moved to Singapore, done recruitment down there, would have been able to send lots of money back to the kids and everything. Sure. Because I wasn't earning much money over here. But the one thing that kept me here, like obviously the kids, but it's like, how can I try stand-up and be something in stand-up in Singapore? So I stayed here.
Yeah, it's not famous for its stand-up scene.
Exactly.
There's no Singapore Seinfeld.
No, there's not. There's not. And I started stand-up in the January, and that's 14 and a half years ago.
Wow, man. Yeah. That's cool. And do you have, you've discussed it already, you've talked about the people kind of you watched growing up.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a hero, it doesn't even have to be in stand-up, but is there anyone that still to this day kind of inspires what you do, work ethic-wise or family, anything? Like how does that...
Seinfeld was, he was one of those guys.
Yeah.
In terms of, I love the fact that he had the biggest show in the world.
Yeah.
And then just went straight back to stand-up. And he started from scratch. And he even talks about that, doesn't he? He's like, I had the biggest show in the world, and I'm still here in front of you guys.
I think true stand-up comedians, it doesn't matter what they do, because so many of them go on to be movie stars or...
Of course.
I say so many, and a very small amount of stand-up.
But in the 90s, they all had a sitcom, didn't they?
That was the career path. It was like, you be a stand-up for a few months, you get a sitcom on one of the million networks in the US. And then lots of people would move to LA in order to be seen at the Comedy Store, to get their own sitcom. And they all followed that Seinfeld blueprint.
Yes, they
It's
did.
their name. There's stand-up comedians in it, but they also have these other lives going on in it, in the show. But lots of comics... who end up being like movie stars and stuff like that, they still do stand up.
They do.
There's very few of them.
Sandler still does it.
Sandler still does.
Bill Burr.
I saw
he's legit.
Adam Sandler in Los Angeles trying out material with Judd Apatow and a few other people and stuff. It's just crazy that these people, and I think it's the same for me. As soon as I started doing stand-up, I was like, I'm never going to stop.
There's no stopping.
This.
There's no stopping at all. I'm going to be, regardless of what levels of success or highs and lows, I'm still going to be 60.
I can take a break. You know, I hate taking a break. I can't take a break, but I'm going to carry on doing this for the rest of my life.
I can't take it. I was going to take a break last October,
right
after the special. I thought just take a few weeks off, and I was made redundant, so I was like, I gotta work. I need to continue working.
Yeah.
Can I drive to Slough for 50 quid?
I know this from looking at other comics, like people like Billy Connolly or whatever. They'll keep going right through, well past. They don't need it for the money or anything. No, of course. But I don't think I'm ever going to retire.
No. Richard Pryor was in a wheelchair going up to the store. That's just it's in us.
Yeah. It is an addiction. 100% is an addiction. I'm stuck with it now. Do you have any, apart from obviously recording the special, which is very exciting, through the years, have you ever had a gig that stands out to you as one that you're chasing that high, still trying to get it?
Funny enough, a special gig come up on Facebook as like anniversary. I think it was like 9 years since we'd done the Glee together today, or something ridiculous like that. Yeah. So that was a nice moment, wasn't it, for both of us, because we both said, no, we're going to take it in our own hands.
Yeah.
We're not going to, beg for, everyone to like. We're going to just build it ourselves.
Yeah.
Put it on TV as well. Made in Cardiff.
We did, We put it out on a local network.
Yeah.
It was seen by, I think, 7.5 people, actually.
That It was a pregnant woman.
For them.
It was a pregnant woman.
Yeah, the baby heard it. Yeah. No, that was a great experience, man.
Yeah, so that was special. And then, I've done my own solo shows following that. And like the Glee last year was just ridiculous. People queuing up to see me.
Yeah.
And that felt really nice.
It's happened a few times around the block,
Yeah, and I grew up down there as well, so that was the nice part.
He actually opened the doors half an hour late to make that happen this time.
I did.
He engineered it. He was like, I'm not letting him
till
we get the shot.
I stayed in my boxer shorts in the dressing room. I'm not moving. The Motor Point was nice as well.
Oh, yeah, man. You opened for Mo Gilligan.
Yes. So that my mum used to work there. My brothers worked there. 5,000 people in Cardiff. That was amazing.
Mo's a cool guy.
Lovely guy.
I think I first met him. We were doing a gig in Bournemouth. Him and Kay Kurd. The promoter was a lovely guy, but he mainly promoted music. So it felt like a music gig. We had a DJ on behind us while we were performing stand-up, like doing cuts in, with music and stuff. Have you ever done anything like that?
Yeah. I don't really enjoy it. It's very weird, especially like you drop a punchline and then like a gunshot goes off. It's like, boo, boo, boo. It's like, oh, please don't. Yeah.
I've tried to engineer them myself. Those air horns. I've tried to go up on stage with air horn and stuff, which is quite fun sometimes. But it's weird because it's something out of your control.
Yes.
One of the fun things about stand-up is like it's just you on stage, just a microphone. It's all on you to deliver and to make it happen. Make this thing happen. Whereas when you've got a DJ behind you, it can completely mess up the rhythm.
It does. Have you had a sign language person on stage?
Yes.
I loved it. I was really, really like, I don't want this guy next to me. And then I loved it.
Bath Comedia.
Yes, that's the one.
The same
guy.
Really nice guy as well.
Yeah.
But I think once a month they do that sign language show. So they run comedy every week, but they have once a month a sign language show specifically, gives everybody an opportunity to enjoy stand-up if they can't, if they have hearing difficulties or anything. And it was so much fun because you get to see visually what you're saying split second after what that is in sign language. So I found out a few things. I found out the sign language word for cunt, which was very exciting for me, because that's not why I delivered the joke. I've got a joke about the Spanish word and the English word, and I start going into it, and then I said the word, and I was like, oh shit, and I turned around, and I got to see that is the is like a downward triangle over the genitalia. So
is it like harsh as well? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he put them. He dropped the C in it. Yeah.
He's like X-Pac of WWF.
just slamming it in there. It was a pretty.
But you can play with them as well, then, can't you?
Yes.
So I did enjoy that.
So I asked them a few things, and because I thought I knew a few words in sign language, I mentioned them so I could see them and make jokes about why that's the sign language for it. Which was great fun because obviously there's different ways of saying things as well.
Yes.
He was like, I wouldn't usually say it like that. I'd say it like this, and then shows me the signing for that.
Yeah.
And
but it's my show, so just
keep it to your, I think there was a few moments where he thought,
I can make this funny.
I got this. No, don't ad lib. Don't ad lib. Stick to the script.
Don't want notes.
Yeah. The thing is, we don't know what he's signing because of the speech language. He's telling them like, this guy's not as funny as he thinks he is.
Yeah. Shouldn't let the immigrants in.
Yeah, I don't know why he did this so much. I don't know what word. I don't know what that means, but he did that a few times.
Yeah.
Which, apart from that, one of the other biggest. That wasn't a distraction. That was really fun. One of the biggest distractions I've had on stage. I was booked to, and I think you've done similar gigs. Introduce the bands at the festival.
Yeah.
And you've got them sound checking and setting up behind you.
Oh, wow.
While you're doing it. And I remember one time there was a guy sound checking, setting up the drum kit, and I delivered the joke. I don't even think it was the joke. It was just the setup to a joke. And he thought that's what the punchline was. He went, boom, and
what a prick.
And I turned around and I was like, look, please don't do that. Like,
please, Mr. Drummer for a cover band. Don't,
But we carry, I carried, I was like, please don't do that. It kind of fucks up the joke. Quietly away from the microphone, then turned over, carried on. It was a tough gig. Everyone's just having drinks. They're not there to see me.
No,
They're
of course
there to see
not.
the bands, which I'm perfectly fine with, but I've got to fill the time before they perform. And then years later, a video went up on YouTube of me doing stand-up, and there was like 3 comments, and one of them was like, I did a charity show once, and he was hosting, and I made this joke much funnier by doing like a drum hit, a rim shot, and then he said like, and he turned around, he was a real asshole about it and all that stuff. I was like, I wasn't an asshole, I just said, please don't do that. I said, please.
It seems like it's more about him than
it's
you.
It's a him issue.
You forgot about that.
I had forgotten about it, until this comment popped up on the video. What's been the worst interaction you've had with an audience member at a gig?
When the guy fainted was tough.
Where was that?
In Motel Nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite a small space. Was it really warm or something?
It was a really small space. You're standing on a piano. There's like 30 people in there.
It is a cool stage.
It's a really cool...
But it's quite impractical if there's more than one of you on the stage.
Yeah, especially if someone faints. Because it's an old garage as well, so the floor is like quite hard concrete.
Oh, shit.
And I was
he
filming...
fell off the chair?
Yeah, I was filming and all he heard was dunk. Hysteria... And then on the video...
Yeah, not the kind of hysterics you want at
no,
a stand-up comedy
all.
gig.
You don't want to put someone just, falling asleep, basically.
Yeah.
The body saying, shut down, I don't want to see
this. Was he okay?
He was okay.
Now.
No, he was okay. But in the video, I still put the mic back in the mic stand before. Like, I'm a professional. This is what I do. And he was all right. They were going to phone the ambulance and everything. Then they gave him a pack of crisps and a can of Coke, and he was joking around about it.
Low sugar.
Kind of stole the show. Yeah. Yeah, but
prick.
He's all right though. He's okay, but so I got a clip out of it, so it was
nice.
Right.
But that was obviously the weirdest interaction.
That was the weirdest interaction. Yeah,
it's all for the clips now, isn't it?
Oh, that's I know. It's
It used to be something weird would happen at a gig, and you turn it into a routine and reference it at another gig. Yes. Now it's like, right, that's going on social media.
Yeah, that's before the joke's even ready as well. Sometimes, yeah.
The thing about clips now is everyone's chasing that crowd work. Have you started implementing more crowd work?
Yes, I try to just so you're not burning a lot of material as well.
Yeah.
And I think the crowds are almost expecting a little bit more of that these days as well. So I'm getting messages before my big shows like, can I sit in the front row? You can burn me and stuff like that. And, it's those things. And it's well-meaning.
Yeah.
But I think they've seen a lot of, and we're all guilty of putting those videos out. So then that's their perception of comedy.
People
if they
think
don't
that's
go
stand-up now.
Yeah, if they don't go to, comedy every week.
Yeah.
So, a lot of my crowd is the only time they go to stand-up or they go, to big shows.
Yeah. Well, people are going to... The thing is, as a comic, you think comedy is way more important than it is.
Yes, yeah,
Like, I used to watch so much comedy. I still do. Obviously, I'm performing most nights of the week. We think it's this huge industry and massive, and everyone loves comedy and everyone watches comedy. The truth is, most people never go to comedy.
No, not at all.
Most people never go to comedy shows in their lives. They'll maybe watch something on TV, sometimes not even that. Then you've got other people who make up the majority of comedy audiences, they will go to comedy once, maybe twice a year.
To see a personality they like as well.
To see somebody they like off the television or an act locally that they know, they'll go see that. You know, it's very few, and I love these audience members who go to like comedy once a week or you know, multiple times a month. They'll go to watch comedy and they just love it and they soak it up, and they are the ones who push you to do better because they have seen all your shit.
They've seen that shit. Yeah, they've seen it. And you know, we've both had, you know, guys like, oh, you're going to be doing new stuff tonight. It's like, mate, I'm doing a comedy gala here for like a huge show. I'm bringing my stuff, you know.
Well, we did a gig the other night, and I asked you to, because Leroy was emceeing, Leroy was the host, and I said, can you just check how many people have seen me before? So they say, oh, give me a cheer if you've seen Ignacio on his tour, and if you've seen before. Pretty much the whole room cheered. There's like, shit, that limits the amount of old material I can do. So yeah, it was a nice challenge for me, and it brings you out of your comfort zone.
It does. It's a challenge, and you know, you've done great.
How do you approach writing a new show? Because like me, you're a very autobiographical comedian. Yeah. So big things happen in your life. That tends to be what the next show is about. So the last show was about
redundancy.
Your redundancy.
Yeah.
Did you get a good response from people post show? Did a lot of people being through the same kind of experience?
Yeah. So I think it resonated with a lot of people. So
it's going to resonate a hell of a lot more when we go into this economic downturn.
Yeah. I think my next show should be about like getting ready for war.
A survivalist show. Stock up on tins, folks.
Here we go, guys. I'm going to drink some piss.
I mean, I've done more embarrassing shit on stage to try and get a laugh. Drinking piss wouldn't be a new one. What is well, look, let's chat. What's been the worst gig you've ever done, man? That's the first question everyone asks you as a comic. One, tell us a joke. Two, what's the worst gig you've ever done?
I think it was the worst gig I didn't do.
Okay.
So we were together. We drove there.
Which one we did?
Yeah, we drove there. And when we got to the car park, I said, let me just, I'm feeling a weird energy here. Let me just park the car so we can just jump in the car and get out of here if we need to.
He genuinely stopped for a second. Before I was about to get out, he goes, oh no, give me a minute, turn the car around, like ready for, it's like you were premonition or something. Yeah. Like Minority Report, like I can see the future crime about to happen.
And then we walked around the corner, and then some guy just spat on the floor, almost hit my foot. Yeah. And it was a weird vibe.
That gave us an idea of exactly what that gig was going to be like.
And then we get there, and the guy who booked us, he's like, we got other acts, but
he said,
can I phone them? Can I phone them to cancel them? I'm like, they're on the M4.
Yeah, and they're driving from London and further. Yeah. And he was like, oh, they're running a bit late, so I think I'm going to phone them and cancel them. We're like, what are you talking about?
Because we haven't got the money. I'm like, what do you mean? And yeah, it was weird. And then
it was revealed they didn't have the money to pay us.
They didn't have the money. And then he went to get cash or something.
With a family member.
And then his nan was on stage screaming at us to get on stage.
She was doing the can-can.
Yes.
But she started entertaining people herself doing the can-can.
And she was screaming at us to get on stage.
Like a flapper lady from the 1920s.
And then the guy just said, just put money in our pocket and said, just run, get out of here. Because the energy was just like, it was going to turn, wasn't it?
It was carnage. People have been drinking for a long time. The show was starting so late. Because I was meant to be closing, I think. Yeah. And you were meant to be on later in the show as well. But the other two comics who were meant to be opening were running a bit late. But he was using that as an excuse because he didn't have the money to like delay and start late and stuff. Because I was like, we could open and, go and get out of here,
Yeah, just pay us.
Kept pushing it and pushing it. Eventually, we got paid, I think, half fee.
Yes, it was, but...
We negotiated. I said, look, we'll take half fee or whatever.
We just have our lives.
We just want to, get out there safely. Yeah. It was a pretty intense situation. As a lot of gigs, you get comedy clubs in Wales, you get art centres, you get pubs, and then every now and again, you'll get like a weird gig out in the middle of nowhere.
Caravan park or something.
Which, can be fun, or they can seem like you're about to get kidnapped, killed, and buried in the woods.
Yes, you are. You are. Yeah. It's there's so many of those. Like
they ran after the car.
I
forgot about that.
They did.
Because he was like, just get out of here, just go. And we're like, are you sure you've given us half of it? He was like, yeah, this isn't the gig.
And
he had the self-awareness to know. He was like, this isn't a gig, get out of here.
Yeah, and then the nana ran. Yeah, she was the main.
She
instigator.
could move.
She was quick. She warmed up from the can-can.
Terminator.
She was.
T1000, yeah.
She was.
Liquid Terminator. The liquid she'd been on was, I think, whiskey she'd been on that afternoon.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we'd made it out of there alive.
We did.
They tried to close the gates as you were driving.
It was horrific, because it wasn't in like a nice part of town.
No.
Yeah, we've had those, and we've all died, and I embrace the death now because I know it's not going to happen for a while.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I feel like when I hit the stage, it doesn't matter what the setup's like, doesn't matter what's going on. My worst gigs are behind me.
Yes,
no death can top some of the ones
exactly.
I had early
Yeah.
on, so
and you're mature enough as a comic to know, and and then you don't blame the audience.
No,
you just move on. Yeah, because a lot of people blame the audience and blame them on stage as well, and that just makes it worse. You're just doubling down.
Yeah, I've seen some real deaths. I saw an act once in Wales complaining that. It was an English act complaining that they love these jokes in England, just as inferring that Welsh people were too stupid to get the jokes.
We've seen the ultimate death, haven't we? Together, we can't say who it was, but we were there for the ultimate death in the Glee.
Oh yes, we were.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh god, that was pretty painful. I've never seen an act
that was like reincarnation death. Wasn't it? Constant going over.
They were properly up for it as well, the audience. That's what made it worse. I think it was pure silence for the entire set. He walked off the stage to the sound of his own 2 feet.
And it was delusion afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going on, mate. Keep going.
Keep going, yeah. Crack on. Yeah, keep working on it. Ouch. What's the worst job you did before stand-up?
Oh, man, I've done so many jobs. I've worked in lots of call centers.
Yes, I mean this is a running theme of the podcast. Yeah. I feel like everyone's worked.
Well, in recruitment center as well. I remember I got to the point in recruitment where I had to you're trying to pick up jobs to sell.
Okay.
And the only one I could sell at that time or pick up was a client who sold bull semen. So I had to go up to Kincoid. It's a little office in Kincoid. I had to sit there. There's a clock which is a bull having sex with another bull. And then he's giving me a tour.
He really went in on his
He gave me it's obviously not where the semen's kept. It's like she gave me like a brochure of like pictures of cows, like it was some porno mag.
That's like us having like a clock with like microphones on it, or
and then
a catalog of cows.
Bulls. Yeah, it's a big thing. So like if you want like a strong heifer, so then I had to then try to get people to go to that job. Yeah. And like you're trying to sell that job to people. So yes, of course, really great. Hours are great. So what are we selling? So it's a really scientific, working in agriculture. Just beating around the bush, and then it gets to the point. Yeah, you're selling a bit of cow junk, basically. Yeah.
Bull semen. I thought that was an energy drink.
Yeah, it probably is.
It
high in protein.
Yeah, the weightlifters love it.
Just neck it back. Yeah.
So that's a pretty intense job. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, I've done.
Did you last in that job? Or you got fired from it, or what?
No, I was recruiting for this, so I moved on to another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were obviously trying to employ the people to do that. Yeah.
I mean, I've done in university. Do you know when you build like new build flats?
Yes.
You got to do like a builder's clean. I used to do that builder's clean. It was fucking horrific.
Was that going in after
the
just
builders?
Before?
Yeah.
So between the completion of the job and okay.
So, but it's like filthy in there from like builders.
Yeah.
All dust, no masks, and everything.
Bull semen everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What? Shit.
Loads of like bull magazines left under the bed.
So you have to go in and basically make it presentable for the new people moving into these places.
Yeah, and this is like 500 flats, and you're doing that. It was tough.
Did you have any shortcuts? Did you used to like brush stuff under a rug or whatever?
Nah, I can't even remember. It was so far back, and I didn't even get paid off it as well.
What do you mean?
They shifted.
They screwed you on the money.
They shifted me on the money, man. So it was like a double.
That makes it worse.
Yeah.
One of the worst jobs I ever did was an F1 presentation in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
And a security company from Swansea, where I was living at the time, and I needed some cash. This security guard company, they recruited a bunch of people from Swansea short term to come to Hyde Park in London. To basically look after Hyde Park while they got in these F1 cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just got to be in black clothes, black coat, high vis on top of it, just stopping people walking through the park because there's F1 cars driving around Hyde Park, right?
At 200 odd miles an hour.
And yeah, just like, hey, look at what these cars can do, a presentation for rich people and F1 fans. And Londoners don't like being told they don't. Can't walk through the field. They walk through every day.
Their only field.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a lot of angry people basically just storming through. And it's a miracle nobody got hit by an F1 car because they could not give a shit in London. They just, no, I'm doing it. I'm walking. I walk this way to work every day. I'm doing it today. Are there F1 cars flying around the corner every day when you're on your way to work? I hope you work in the hospital because you need to get an ambulance, motherfucker.
I tell you, another tough gig was I stopped doing them now, Beaujolais gigs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've stopped. The money is not worth my mental health. It's not worth it.
If anybody's curious, Beaujolais is actually a Welsh word which means binge drinking. Okay, that is
French.
What Beaujolais.
French for drunk MILF. That's what it's there for.
I've done a handful of Beaujolais.
Yeah.
Gigs. They can be fun. The problem is, because it started, it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
The history of Beaujolais is that Beaujolais Nouveau Day. It's actually called. It's the new Beaujolais comes out on that day. Yeah. It was a clever marketing ploy. They do it in one day. This is the day it all comes out. Everyone can taste it. What are the nice ones, etc. from this particular region in France. And somehow it made it to Swansea. All right, it made it to Swansea.
Yes.
Where Wine Street exists, and it kicked off. And now they celebrate it in such a big way. It's like the Swansea national holiday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You get a bunch of people trying the Beaujolais
at 12. They're drinking at 12
midday, all through till the evening when we end up performing.
So I was supposed to perform with Dean Saunders, my hero as a kid. Sure. I supported Villa because of Dean Saunders. So I'm sat next to Dean Saunders. He can feel the energy. He's like, do you know what? So I was going to go on before Dean Saunders. He's like, I'm going to go on first. He overran, telling stories about Ron Atkinson. Everyone's there to see Dean Saunders. And then it's now Leroy Brito, and people are like, ugh. And some woman just sat in the front. She's talking. I said, do you mind? She's like, just leave.
She said that.
But she's just like, just leave. And like one of the cricketer, Simon Jones, like he was mortified. He came up, apologized to me afterwards about everything. He was like, she shouldn't say that to you, but it was tough. So that's the last Beaujolais I've done. Yeah.
He left and he never went back.
But then I was made redundant in October last year, so I'm sending Beaujolais messages out. Hey, I'll do it again.
Guys, looking for someone.
Yeah.
Oh man, Beaujolais can be intense. I think any event, like that's why corporates can be such tough gigs.
They are.
Because people aren't there for stand-up
They're
comedy.
not.
You know, sports dinner, sometimes they're there to see and hear the sportsman speak. So if you're following a sportsman or somebody telling anecdotes that people are really invested and care about, and then we got to go up and go, hey. Jokes.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough. But it's all part of the gig, isn't it? It's all part of the dream. Man.
It's a big part of your stand-up. You mentioned, obviously, you talk about being from Cardiff a lot. Does that track well when you're gigging around the UK? People ask me the similar question about Spain and Wales. When I go do gigs in Scotland, if I'm doing the French, I'm talking about Wales. How do you frame it for people outside Wales?
You don't dig deep into the Cardiff aspect. You don't talk about too much Welsh references in there, but you still give a reference of who you are and where you're from. So you explain it a little bit more, or you give a bit more context. But you don't just make niche jokes. Yeah. Because people won't get like the jokes about Penarth that I do. You talk about a nice area and they'll get it. So when you're traveling, you're going to America, you tailor stuff, don't you? So my sports day stuff is called track day in America.
Do they call it track day?
They call it track or field, something like that. So one of these days. So it's track day. So that's how you can make that joke work there, because it's a universal theme. Yeah. But it's just a different word that we use. You need to tweak
it so that it translates. Yeah. Has anyone, because obviously you've got a Welsh, like a Cardiff accent then, do people ever surprised to hear your accent come out of your mouth? Yes. Yeah. Usually in the States?
No, London black people mainly. Okay. Because they haven't got an understanding of the history of black people in the UK. So yeah.
When you've gigged in the United States, for instance, like do you start by explaining that where Wales is?
I think it's more on the map these days. So when I first started going over there, you'd have to give references to like Tom Jones, Gareth Bale, etc. But I think it's getting more, the TV shows and, things like that. The Wrexham show is a big thing over there. So I think people are getting it now a little bit more.
We do have to thank Ryan Reynolds for that.
Ryan and Rob. Yeah.
Getting out there and putting Wales, we're spreading out to the world, really.
Exactly, yeah.
Putting Welsh subtitles on stuff on Netflix.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Yeah.
Who would have thought, man? Crazy. You're not a Welsh speaker because you grew up in basically a non-Welsh speaking part of Cardiff.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you find like you ever get any shit for that? Do people kind of like, you should be speaking Welsh?
Usually from outside of Wales.
Yeah.
And I think it's not shit. It's like, it's surprise and disappointment. So if you go to, if you go to like Spain or somewhere, they're like, you should be speaking Welsh, man. It's your country. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, if you're Welsh, it's not some guy from like East Ham saying that to me.
Yeah, because I think the thing is, like, people in Wales, they kind of understand, what it was like growing up.
The history, history,
like, you either do or you don't.
Yeah, and like, I'm from the generation where it was just before the real promotion of it and the opening of so many Welsh schools and things like that. So I never really had the desire as well. If I'm honest, I'd rather learn a European language. Like a Spanish, Italian, etc. That's what I think I'd prefer.
Spanish.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm trying on Spanish.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What have you been using any apps or anything like that?
I'd used Duolingo, but it was just finding it a little bit too boring.
Yeah.
So I just need to find
I
need to find someone I know who I trust who grew up in Spain. Exactly. Yeah.
I will say as well, it might be not today, I think, but it might be a running theme of the podcast as well. So Jose, producer over there, is Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
And
he tells me how to pronounce my surname correctly. Yeah.
Of course, man. Brito. What's the origin of that?
Brito.
Brito. That's what you say, Brito. Okay. Yeah. How did you end up with a Portuguese surname, man?
So my great grandfather came from Cape Verde, which was part of Portugal back then. It's an independent country these days. Yeah. That's where it's come
basically
from.
Colonizers, isn't it?
Yeah.
That happens,
So the Cape Verde Islands. There's more Cape Verdeans in Lisbon than in Cape Verde, and but we punch above our weight. We do in terms of like the culture. So Ronaldo's nan. Cape Verdean.
From Cape Verde, yeah. Oh,
Patrick Vieira's mum, Cape Verde. Henrik Larsson's dad, Cape Verde.
Wow.
Yeah, so the nanny is from Cape Verde as well. So we punch above our weight.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, it's cool because is it who is it? Is it Manuel Brito? Is in your family?
So my
your brother's called Miguel.
Miguel is but Miguel's named from my other grandfather, who was St. Lucian, but he was a seaman, and he said, I think it was Buenos Aires he went to, and he loved it, so they called my brother Miguel. No way. Yeah, so on my father's side, my great grandfather was Pedro Martinez Brito.
Yeah.
My grandfather was Pedro Brito.
Right.
My uncle's Martin Brito, so it's softened up.
Yeah.
So my middle name is Leroy Martin Emmanuel Brito, so I should be Martinez Brito.
Yeah.
And then on my mum's side is Jamaican St. Lucian involved as well. So yeah.
That's
so
cool,
Manuel was my great uncle. You didn't know him, did you?
Not personally, no.
No.
But we all know of.
It was Manuel. Yeah. So my grandfathers, all of them had Portuguese names. So it's Pedro, Francisco, Luis, Manuel. And then his sisters were called Margaret, Winifred, and Barbara. So the white mother.
What a combo!
Yeah, the white mother kept.
Yeah.
So my girls are not having. Yeah.
What should you? Both the daughters that I know, very very cute girls. And what are their names as well? She got Florence.
Florence is the youngest. Penelope is 9, and then Joe is 20. And he's a big guy nowadays.
He is, yeah. Is he going to try stand up one day, you think?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I don't think
he's seen what he's done to you.
Yeah. He has, but that's the beautiful thing. He's seen some of the smaller gigs, and then he comes out to New York with me, and he was there at the Glee last year, so he's seen me close shows in New York.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's like a bit of inspiration for him to just chase things.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What when you were growing up, because you obviously were. You're a big fan of sports and stuff.
Yes,
well. And Joe's been playing a lot of sport. He's
an
athlete as well. But he was doing football, and then he got into rugby.
He was doing football, rugby as a kid.
Yeah.
Stopped both, so he's more like weightlifting now and does a little bit of like BJJ and stuff like that.
You've been running marathons, like
half
marathons and all that kind of stuff. Power to you, like well done.
Mm-hmm.
And also, let's face facts. You've been doing it mainly for the material.
100%. 100%. I'm not gonna jump out of a plane. So yeah.
Is that the motivation for stuff that you do in your life? You're like, I'm gonna get some gags out of this.
Yeah, you need to do stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm doing and if it can help other people as well. So I'm doing the half marathon for Cardiff this year for Velindre, the charity, and I'm climbing a mountain next year for Velindre in Spain, the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Fuck that.
So yeah, I haven't even been at Penavan, so I don't know how this is going to work for me. But it's, if I can help people at the same time of, having life experiences, because it's about life experiences for us. So as I say, it's autobiographical, our comedy. It's not like whimsical in the air or anything. It's stuff we've done.
And also it's relatable as well.
Everyone's climbed the Sierra Nevadas.
Yeah. If they haven't run, a marathon or a half marathon, whatever, they've watched the London Marathon, or they know people who've done it, or they've given donations to people in the office.
They definitely know someone who's
come
done
around and go like, "Hey, I'm doing a marathon for this." What was the most brutal one that you've done?
It was London. Was the hardest, because it's the first time I've ever done something that distance, and it was 2 days after my 40th in Ibiza. So, I mean, I was getting my steps in at like 4 o'clock in the morning dancing, but I wasn't ready for the full marathon.
Your Apple Watch was kind of like, you've done the marathon today. Actually, on the dance floor, just up and down. Nice, man.
So that was really, really tough. But I hope to do it again to get a better time. So Matt Hancock beat me by an hour. Yeah.
But that's just because everyone was chasing him,
and he's running away from his wife and things like that. Yeah.
Aside from gigs you've performed at yourself, and not even just in comedy, but what's the best show you've ever seen personally? What's the best experience you've had?
It's probably Rod in Swansea.
Yeah? Was that in the arena?
In the arena.
Okay.
So I'm not close with him, but I've seen that show get built from scratch, from his first gig back, and writing some stuff, and it's a really personal show. And I've seen it getting built, and then seeing it in front of like 4,000 or 5,000 people in Swansea, and he's just a master at what he does.
Yeah.
That was just like an education.
I think it's funny because if you've only seen Rod on television, early as well, like his first few appearances on Apollo or whatever, I feel like he got pigeonholed as like the shouty Welshman.
Yes, yeah.
And like there's so much variety to what he does on stage, and the way he crafts a story and brings people in is incredible to see. How did it inspire you?
It's just I love seeing the work. So seeing someone at that level have the nerves before, writing this joke, and then the joke comes out and it's like, I need to change, I need to do that, and seeing that whole process, and then seeing the evolution of it. So I'm not sure if you've seen the show, but you got a joke about having a sofa delivered, but he's got cancer, so it might not. And that growth of that whole joke is just incredible, and like seeing it in its final form, was brilliant. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, I haven't seen the show. I've seen snippets, but the very relatable right now because I've just moved and we don't know when the fuck we're getting our sofa.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, it's up in the air. Everything's up in the air. Are you on like mattresses and stuff like that?
We've got a mattress.
Yeah.
The bed has arrived, but I'm not installing it until we've had the electrical work done, which means we can paint. It's a process, man. Speaking of processes. But
I'm not really interested in that process.
No, me neither. I want to just skip to the end with that. We're a stand-up. I'm very much embedded.
I'm at the start of the process again now.
Yes, new show.
So I'm going to redo All In again in December for the Glee.
Yeah.
But next year I'm working on a big show. So that's what I'm writing from scratch. Brand new notebook. And it's exciting.
When you're coming up with material, or when something speaks to you and you think, I'm going to write some material about this.
Yeah.
What do you think is what makes it land on stage, that makes you think, this has got legs? What reaction is it for you? What feeling do you get?
It's a different process for me. So it's just gathering seeds at the moment, in terms of like ideas pop in your head, put it in a note down.
Yeah.
Ideas pop in your head, and then going back to it, and then working it. So I worked out some material the other day. I done it on stage with you. So I come up with it like in the day, just the idea of it. Thought of it a little bit in the afternoon. Done it on stage at 6:30 this morning. I've made it double better already.
Yeah.
So it's letting watering the seed. It's like and then letting it grow a little bit to what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Trying it, and then so then hopefully within a few months it'll be, instead of just this one idea, it could be a 5-10 minute bit. So that's what I'm trying to work on as a comic now in terms of skills. I need to, watching how you can take one small bit and make it into a big 10-minute
expand
bit. Yeah, I'm usually bang, bang, bang. I need to expand more. So when I first started, I felt like I was good at doing one-liners, but I couldn't tell stories. So I tried to work on my storytelling. So this is another skill I'm trying to work on. You know, it's like basketball players having a bag.
Yeah.
You've got a nice layup, you want a 3-point shot, so you need to keep working on those. So.
Yeah, the sport analogies works a lot for me. I think like you know, you want to be the complete player. You want to have all of these different skills, you know, because you don't know when you're going to need to pull them out either.
Yeah.
Especially when you want to test yourself and do different kind of stuff in shows.
Well, that's the thing. So the next show I'm going to do next year is going to be quite a big show. So I need to be at that level of playing those rooms.
Yeah.
And that's what those comics do. They expand.
Yeah.
And then it's just layering joke into every single part.
Yeah, pack them in, man. There's,
There's
you can always take jokes out. It's very difficult on the spot, on the moment, to put a joke in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we've met a lot of people in our career. We both did that gig for the Welsh FA. You know.
Yes, yeah. That was a tough one as well.
That was That was a very difficult. I have spoken about that on the podcast already. It was one of the toughest ones for me, I reckon.
Yeah.
I feel like I took the bullet by going on first.
Yeah, I mean, everything that could go, I mean, they all had masks on because
it was COVID. Yeah, all wearing masks. Yeah. You know, extreme testing before you go in. You know, you don't usually get swabbed on the way into a comedy gig.
No.
I've done some gigs where people should have been swabbed on the way into a gig.
We've all had promotions stick their finger up our ass.
But hey, gig's a gig,
Gig's
you know?
a gig, man.
But who some other people you met in the world of comedy that's kind of been quite exciting?
The one that, you know, I've met some great people. So when I was quite new in stand-up, the old manager of the Glee Club, Lee, took me to the Glee. He said, come in, Lee Evans is on. And he introduced me to Lee Evans just after he'd done a new material, sat in the green room, just having a chat with me. Absolutely wonderful person. And you meet, the higher up you go, the nicer people are.
I feel like there's a reason they've lasted.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's there to take shots at them. They're nice people, like people like Rod. Well,
that's the thing. People always ask me about Rod. I'm like, he's everything you want Rod to be. He's just a sweetheart and you know, and giving you advice. And some of the things he said to me is just like, fuck, this guy just said that to me after I come off stage. It's amazing. But the one that really sticks with me, and without getting all like arty-farty and spiritual and stuff, but it was Chappelle and meeting Chappelle.
Okay.
So I always feel like, you know, in this journey, it's a difficult road sometimes, and you're going through some tough shit. And I wasn't going through some tough shit, but I think it just helps you on the way. Yeah. Keeps you saying you're on the right track. So
you met him at a J.K. Rowling book reading, wasn't it? No, how did you meet Chappelle? Because it wasn't you.
It was a rant. So I was in New York with my son. I'm playing New York gigs, and a basketball fan. I wanted to go up to Rucker Park. If you don't know Rucker Park, it's in Harlem. It's a world famous basketball court. Well, in the summer, you know, Kobe Bryant would just turn up. Kevin Durant would just turn up. So
is that who you were looking for?
I was just Kobe. I was like, where's the? But we went up to Rucker Park, and it was closed for refurbishment. So we were gutted. Oh, no. We were absolutely gutted.
You traipsed through Harlem.
All the way through Harlem, seeing my people and everything.
Yeah.
People looking to rob me. So then I said, okay, let's go down to Leroy Street in the Village.
Okay.
Go down to Leroy Street in the Village, get off at the wrong stop. So we're lost looking for Leroy Street. I look across the road, there's like a commotion of people. I say to Joe, there must be someone famous there. Everyone disappeared. I'm like, it's Dave Chappelle. He heard me. He walked across the road to me, started talking to me. And I said I'm a comic, and he even got like just more engaging with me.
Oh, wow.
And bear in mind, this might have been like 2 or 3 minutes of his life.
Right.
But for me, for having that engagement with him, and then having the self-awareness, be like, just step out of this situation. don't ruin the situation. Don't be like, where are you gigging? Can I jump on?
Let's go.
You know, you're just like, because the next time you see him, it might be you're on the bill with him. So you don't want to dick ride, do you? And I was in front of my son, so I want to be a good role model in that respect. But just looking back, just like, and I've seen interviews where he says when he meets people, he tries to engage with them, and he did. And it was just like the universe saying you're on the right track.
Cool.
So that really, it sticks with me, and it keeps me going sometimes. Yeah.
Ah, that's great, man. Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, the only thing better than a story of meeting a famous person, somebody you look up to and stuff, and it being a good experience. The only thing better than that is them being a complete asshole.
Complete, yeah.
Have you met? You don't have to name them, but have you met any like total assholes you weren't expecting?
Yeah, but they weren't even big enough to be an asshole.
Okay.
I remember, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll say the other person I met at that exact moment. So I was in Edinburgh, my only time I've done Edinburgh. Yeah. And it was like a compilation show. So there's some nice big names on there. Jason Manford was on, and I walk in, and Josh Pugh is there, and another comic.
Yeah.
Josh Pugh, before I even met him, was a lovely guy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
The other guy just brushed me off. And I'm thinking, we're on the same bill, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
You know, and then Josh blew up like straight afterwards,
Sure.
and, you know, and he's still a lovely guy.
Yeah.
But the other guy's like, I got no time for you.
Nah, man. And Jason Murphy's a lovely guy
Lovely
as well.
guy as well, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, green rooms, one of the best things about being in comedy is you get to share some great moments in green rooms. We had a great time in Cardiff the other day.
Yeah.
You know, me, you, Stefan Allen, Josh Elton, just all mates, you know, all come up slightly different times.
It's nice when that can happen, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a good vibe in the green room, which is really important for a show, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than like somebody taking a dump in the green room.
Who's the best vibe in the green room for you?
Best vibe?
Yeah, who's the best? Who, when you're in the green room, like, yes, it's going to be a nice time.
Trying to think of some good examples here. That's a good question. Best vibe in the green room, I reckon somebody like, I'm going to say a comic, and then I'm going to tell you a sound person.
Oh, I know already. I know
the sound person.
Yeah, I know already.
Birmingham
Glee.
She's absolutely incredible.
She's the best.
Elise, yeah.
She is
so
absolutely
good.
the best.
She's the best vibe for sure. I think comedian-wise, because I'm friends with a lot of comics and stuff like that, but Elise is just a complete ray of sunshine every time you step into that green room. Best in the business.
100%. I've actually emailed the Glee and said that. Yeah.
Give her a raise.
yeah.
But comic-wise, somebody like Beck Hill is just, you know, we've been friends for years now, but because first few times we met, she's just so much fun in the green room, and similar to Elise as well, just, you know.
When you see him on a bill, you're like, it's going to be a nice weekend.
Yeah, 100%.
Matt Price is one of those for me.
Oh, Matt Price is a legend, man.
I love spending time in the green room and chatting with him.
Yeah.
There's so many good guys like that who, like, you know, you look forward to the weekend.
Biggest asshole you've ever been in the green room with? We can cut it out if you don't want to say it. Yeah. We can beep it. Yeah, that'd be even better, actually. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of dickheads, but it's just like they're dickheads. So it's like,
I think, I mean, the weirdest one for me, I did meet...
okay.
I've met him a couple of times since, and he's been fine. He's been really nice. But the first time I met him, he was so grumpy and irritable. And like, you know, at one point I had like people coming over to me saying, I was supposed to be introducing him to the stage. I was hosting this event. And they came over and they said, do you mind not introducing him? I was like, sorry, what do you mean? I'm hosting, right? And they were like, no, he's asked if you cannot. And I'm like looking over the other end of this, like, you know, festival room, like at the back.
Is he being ironic? Is he?
Like, it was, you know, and he's just not making eye contact. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what am I supposed to do after the last act? Just go, thank you very much, good night. And then what do I say if I'm not introducing him? And then they were like, oh, hold on, we'll check. They went over and they came back. They said, oh no, like you can introduce him, but like just say like here is, you know, Stuart Lee. And
so you introduce.
So what I would have done? Like, what does he think I'm gonna do? Like just go on and like riff about something.
Talk about the audience and all that. You know, just do Stuart Lee stuff. I just realised my weirdest experience of the green room. So I can't say the name, but it was a big festival, and we're all chilling in the green room. And this is after he's been weird a few nights before as well. And he's got a kid's drum set. And he's in the back of the room just playing drums while we're all trying to have a lovely conversation.
What?
Yeah.
Who was this?
Yeah, this was 2 days after he turned up with a gig. Like, it's too bright in here and I'm jet lagged. You're like, you ain't jet lagged.
Jet lagged.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, is that what we're calling flagons of wine now? Jet.
Jameson.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
She just took a kid's drum set with him. That's weird. That
he was taking her on with him. He wasn't like...
Was he okay to you personally or just being weird?
I don't think we had much interaction,
to
be honest.
Because that thing that happened... Eventually, I did bring him up to the stage. And as he was walking up, because we all had our own microphones, right?
Okay.
So every act walked on with their microphone. And I said, ladies and gentlemen... And like I started walking off and he's out like this. And I go to shake his hand. He's like, the microphone, you idiot.
That's what he said to you.
And I was like, so I gave him my microphone, even though like we're all supposed to have our own mic. And I came off stage and the sound guy was apologizing to me. I'm really sorry. Should have his mic and stuff. I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, what a prick. I can't believe like this guy's such an asshole. I was expecting him to be a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day I see him, because it's a festival, I see him on the artist campsite. And I'm leaving. I've got to get a train to another gig far, far away. And I come out of the tent and I've got my shit together. And apparently there's a place where they're giving coffee out in the mornings, so like not a coffee
I
shop.
was gonna say
A
the
coffee shop, Ignacio. Yeah, I forgot the word. ¿Cómo se dice? No, and I walked over to, like, I was looking for this place, and I spot him in the distance, and he's like waving, and he comes over. Couldn't have been a nicer fucking guy.
It's weird, isn't it?
He's like talking to me. He just must have been so in his own head and stressed out before the gig that it's just. And I completely get how that happens, because there's gonna be people out there who think I'm the biggest asshole in the world.
Of course.
Because I've had like 5 minutes where it's like I'm having a meltdown and I, just react in some way. Everyone has a bad day.
We do.
Everyone has a bad moment.
We've all had those.
But that's not going to stop me telling those stories.
Of course, you've got content out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what's next, man? What's next on the agenda? What you got planned?
Yeah, so I'm still writing. I'm writing a new show for next year, but at the moment I've got a podcast which I'm really, really excited about called Who's the Goat?
Yeah.
And I get people like yourself on the podcast answering that age-old question, who is the greatest of all time?
Yeah,
so,
no surprises if you know me, who I've chosen on the podcast, but you'll get to listen to the Leroy's podcast. You'll find out.
So we've had some great guests talking about Michael Jordan, talking about Prince is the greatest of all time.
Oh, cool.
So we've had some really great guests. So I'm loving doing this.
Yeah.
Stand-up is the one. So next year, December, I'm going to be doing the big room in the Wales Millennium Centre.
Holy shit.
Yes, yeah. So as you know from my journey, I used to write in the foyer when I first started. I used to play the coffee shop quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I've moved up and I moved back to the Glebe, and now 15 years in, I'm doing the big room. So
well, that's full cycle, because even before that place was built,
I used to play there, didn't I?
You and your mates used to play around.
Yeah. So I'm from there.
Down the docks.
So I'm going to be just hounding people for tickets. I'm going to be like selling raffle tickets. Like, can I count on you for 5?
It's going to be just like you trying to get sponsorship for your marathon.
Yes,
going on there. Hey, can you sponsor me to be a stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
Also, you get a free show out of it. So come on.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Mate. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It's a hell of a venue, man. It's
quite
daunting.
Beautiful.
It's big.
Yeah, I love it.
We'll feel it, man.
We will do.
You'll have a great show.
Yeah. Okay. So whilst I'm on here, do you want to open? Not open, but just support. Just support.
I knew there was a reason you came on
the
podcast.
Not open. You know, we don't open for each other anymore.
Haven't I supported you enough?
Yeah. I'm buying 5 tickets.
Yeah, man, what's it? Well, yeah.
If you're free, it'd be lovely for you to come on stage.
I'll just send my agent this podcast, and that'll be the message that I'm gonna support. I'm gonna drop a support set for a good friend Leroy here. Thanks, pal.
Thank you very much.
Take care. That was Leroy Brito. Great chat. Give him a follow on social media. Go catch him live if you can. He's playing the Glee Club in December. Lots of other places around the UK. Likely, I will be at the gig. We hang out a lot. Next week, I am talking to Jess Davis, a former glamour model, a journalist, an activist. She's got a great book out called Nobody Wants to See Your Dick. We have a wonderful chat, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Catch you next week. Gracias. Side Gig is a presentation of Comedy Sheep, produced by Ignacio Lopez for Comedy Sheep and Josie Fortuna of Pigeon Talk Comedy.